The Ballistic Weave armor modification is one of the best clothing armor modification that you can get that gives you the highest defense rating outside of wearing a power armor. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to unlock this modification. Hi, I'm Mo and I'm trapped in Fallout. In order to get your hands on this clothing modification, you will need to find and meet the railroad and do a few quests with them to unlock it. And to do that, you will need to make your way to the Old North Church. It is far northeast of Diamond City, right next to the shoreline. Once you find the church, just go ahead and go inside. Once you make it inside the church, what you want to do is just go straight and then look to your right and then go through this door and then follow this tunnel all the way to the very end, where we will have this placard-like thing on the wall and we will need to enter a password. And the password here is, spoiler alert, is railroad. So as part of this video guide, there might be some spoilers, but nothing major enough to ruin the entire story or anything like that. Once you make it here what you need to do is rotate this circular thing, and you want to spell out the word railroad. So that's R-A-I-L-R-O-A-D. And once you've done that, this will unlock this door here, and the moment you go through it, you will officially meet the railroad. Once you have met the railroad, you will also end up meeting Deacon in this instance. And when you meet Deacon, you will be given a quest called Tradecraft. And as part of that quest, what you will need to do is go on a very linear quest and help Deacon out. And once you've done that, you will then need to return to the railroad. Once you actually gain access inside, you will need to come and speak to this NPC called Dr. Carrington. And what the doctor will do is give you another quest. And this quest will be called Boston After Dark, and this will be again another linear quest that you will need to complete. Once you complete it, again return to the railroad. After completing the quest Boston After Dark, you will need to yet again return to the railroad, and you will need to come and speak to this assaultron called Pam. And doing so, she or Pam will give you a quest called the Mercer Safe House. Again, this is another linear quest that you will need to complete. And once you've completed, again, just return to the railroad. After completing the quest, again, return to Pam and speak to Pam. And this time she will give you another quest. And this one will be called Jackpot Medford Memorial Hospital. Again, once you've completed that quest, what you will need to do is return to the railroad and return to Pam just to sort of convert it and make it as a marked quest. After completing the jackpot quest and you've already spoken to Pam, what you now need to do is return to the railroad, and you want to speak to this NPC here called Drummer Boy. And when you speak to him, he will mention to you that another NPC called Tinker Tom is looking for you. So go ahead and speak to Drummer Boy.
You're the one that scored the DIA cache, right? Tom's dying to talk to you about it.
And that's the cue you want, where he says that Tom wants to speak to you. Now what we need to do is go ahead and locate Tom, who should be right over here.
Shit, man. That cache you found has some real serious high tech. But the creme de la creme is ballistic polymer weave. Lightweight, serious stopping power. And it looks just like normal.
And that's what you want to hear. Once you hear both of these dialogues, this would have basically unlocked Ballistic Weave mod for you. So now go ahead and access a armor workbench, and you should see it applicable for normal clothing. So if we open the armor workbench, on me I happen to have army fatigue, a baseball uniform, a battered fedora, a dirty army fatigue, and a trilby hat. So if I go ahead and say access the army fatigues, I now have this mod that wasn't there before, this ballistic mod. And what this will do is allow me to have a ballistic weave on my armor. And if you have a look on the bottom left hand side, you will notice that having this mod will increase the physical resistance and energy resistance of this clothing armor by a whopping 110 each. So let's go ahead and put it on the armor fatigue. And what I will do is go ahead and put it on the battered fedora as well. And the really cool thing about this modification, other than the fact that it will pretty much skyrocket your armor rating, is if I go into and go ahead and equip the army fatigue and the battered fedora, notice that this has pretty much boosted my defense and energy resistance by a whopping 220. But the other really cool thing is I can now go ahead and equip other things on this armor that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to. So for example, I can go ahead and say put on this chest piece that happens to have some legendary effect, doesn't matter what it is for now, or this left leg. So I'm just going to go ahead and equip that as well. And now if I have a look, I've actually got clothing that has got really high damage resistance, as well as unique variants or other legendary armor pieces that I wouldn't have otherwise had with such a high rating. The ballistic armor mod is the best modification for clothing, as it will bump up your armor rating by over 200. That said, if you rather instead want to use power armor, then why not use one of the best power armor in Fallout 4, the X01 power armor. Click on the video you see on the screen now and I will show you how to get your hands on the X01 power armor in Fallout 4.